Ladies and gentlemen, it seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV, but luckily this weekend we've got the good old Counter-Strike values on which we used to rely, because despite Volvo's acquisition of Audi, the R8 is stalled and we're keeping it classic. That's right, we're going back to the old patch and we're playing it how it should be done. And this weekend, as my colleagues have just told you in the pregame, in the pre-show, we've had a long, grueling season that started in September with 16 teams respectively in North America and Europe, the top professional organizations in Counter-Strike. And this weekend from the ESL studios in Burbank, California, we do get down to the final 8. 4 from either division, and it's all here over 4 days. Best of 3s all the way through until the finals, which is a best of 5. A great format. Of course, we're going to get things kicked off with our first game of the weekend. It's 2 top teams, the French side that got reigning major champions, dominating team as of late, and arguably still the best team in the world, going against who's been putting their best foot forward as North America's best roster as well, Team Liquid, who start off today with a stand-in, Mo in the place of Elige. To introduce our first teams, of course, we will get right into it. We shall not delay. Team EnVyUS will be starting out on the left side of our stage. It has to be said, by the way, the boys in blue have faded to slightly turquoise with their hair color as of late. Kenny, I'll just get you on my other side because it's much easier for me. How are you doing this weekend?
Fine, and you?
Doing quite well. I have to say congratulations, first and foremost, rated the eSport Player of the Year. How does that feel?
It feels really good. I think my 2015 years was pretty shaky, but I'm feeling really happy to be awarded Best eSport Player of the Year.
I think it's a huge title and a huge honor, and I think you should be very proud. I've put on some spectacular performances throughout the year and definitely become a fan favorite, and now obviously a major champion as well. A big year for you. Let's talk about specifically this event, though, because there's a lot of talk about honeymoon periods, teams kind of riding waves of momentum and then trailing off a little bit. You guys have of course, come off the major with a victory, but then had a bit of a struggle at DreamHack Winter. How do you feel coming into this particular tournament?
Well, I feel like our preparation and how we worked before DreamHack Winter was really bad as a team. But now, after the DreamHack Winter, we basically talk all together and we are in a way better mindset now. So I think we have way more chances to do something for this event than we did at DreamHack Winter. So yeah, I think we can expect a good result this time.
And you guys do start off against Team Liquid. Now, normally, you've come to know, for a while they were sort of the undetected North American team. They made some roster changes. They've come to be known a little bit more, but they're playing with Mo as a stand-in. Anything you guys have changed in particular for this event, or are you just facing this as another matchup?
We don't play American team a lot, so we don't know what to expect, to be honest, especially that they are playing with Mo, so they will be like a mix. So yeah, we're gonna take this match like as a matchup, and we won't we won't underestimate them, and we'll play our game.
All right, well, best of luck on that game. I won't keep you. You guys have a big match coming up. I'll let you join your teammates. And with that said, it means we've got to look at their opposition. Now, as said, they are playing with that stand-in. Mo in the place of Elige, who I have to say is out getting his education. I commend him for that. He'll join them for the rest of the tournament. But please give it up for Team Liquid. Gotta love that shirt Mo's wearing as well. Nitro, good to see you as always. We'll get right to the point here with you guys. Obviously, you guys have been playing well as of late, but this weekend things do change considerably. Your roles are very clearly defined normally on this team. I think that's one of the things that actually defines you as a team in general. You and Elige on the entry. Now you're bringing in Mo, more known to the op. Does this mean someone like Adren has to switch out of that role? How do you guys face this whole day today?
So we're changing some stuff up. Like, obviously, Mo's not Elige and doesn't have, like,
significantly bigger than Elige. No offense, Mo, but Elige is a pretty small guy, right?
Oh, yeah. So we're just going to have Mo off full-time pretty much today. We haven't had any practice with them, but I don't know. We're just going to have to, like, wing it, I guess.
That was my next question. How much practice have you had? Because it is just today. It is just the one game, but obviously getting your best foot forward in this tournament is something that's important. Is this, I mean, changing this whole thing, playing more as a wing it style, as a pug style, does this change your whole map mentality? Like, what have you guys had to do to prepare strictly for today?
I mean, we talked about it. We're just going to have to, like, change our defaults, like, maybe have, like, pug style strats, so to speak. I don't know. We're just going to have Mo go crazy.
Mo go crazy. Well, he's been known to go crazy from time to time. We'll see if he can hold that up. Best of luck to you guys. Obviously a big day. I'll let you join your team as well because we are going to get into it. So thank you so much, Nitro. And that said, like we said, we are going to get into it. It's going to be an awesome best of 3, of course, and it's going to start off with a bang. In order to get into it in more detail, it does mean we've got to go over to our lovely panel of 3 wise men and 1 poorly engineered machine.
Wow, firing shots right out of the gate. Matt looking radiant in yellow, like a sun-kissed Sado-kissed almost. And thank you very much for that one. And we've got ourselves a fantastic first game to start things off. It does feel like just in that interview alone, we were getting a vibe of kind of, I don't know, it's not a leash. We don't know what we're going to do. It does feel like Liquid are kind of looking a little hamstrung coming into this game. Blue.
I mean, Mo's being brought in, so obviously that's going to add a lot of chaos to the mix, but it could interestingly add something good to the team in the fact that, again, if they start falling behind, like I think a lot of people are going to expect, considering the fact that they're taking on EnVyUS, of course, the, you know, pretty high contender in EUCS. The fact that they're going up against that Mo.
Frenchies are talking smack about me.
Oh, are they?
And I'm hearing this in my ear right now.
Hey. You're the only one that can understand
Our next door neighbor is EnVyUS.
I have no clue if
I've
they're
been
talking
called a
about me.
traitor.
Well, you're talking about Liquid. Why don't you go ahead and run us through the roster?
So, of course, Nitro, Hiko, Elige, or not Elige today, technically it's going to be Mo, Fugly, and Adren being brought in. And Mo, actually, again, for anybody who is curious about how the roles are going to work out, Mo is going to take over the role of full-time operator for the team, whereas Adren is just going to step down a little bit. And this makes perfect sense because Adren has often struggled with doing his role of operator along with his role of IGLing, whereas Mo, of course, now as he's just coming in as an additional player on the roster, he can just jump right in, be the operator, and of course now Adren can focus on IGLing.
I think this is a big discussion point I'd like to bring up while we have some time is, of course, you know, this whole factor where Adren is Liquid's AWPer. However, 9 times out of 10, the casters, even some of the members of his own team are sitting there going, I'd rather you play a rifle right now. I mean, like, this is the discussion where they're like, I don't think there's many rounds where I'd rather have Adren on an AWP. I mean, is that a problem for Liquid? Or, I mean, we have teams in Europe that can operate without a dedicated AWP. I'm thinking, you know, your Virtus Pros and stuff, where Neo occasionally picks it up, Pasha will pick it up. Like, can you work for Flaren without a dedicated AWPer?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. And especially if you have a good in-game leader, right? That's why it's going to be exciting to see Liquid play now with a standing, because they're obviously, you saw Nitro there talking, looked like they weren't really sure what to do.
Yeah.
But that's what you have an in-game leader for,
yeah.
Right? He's supposed to carry you to victory in some sense. And if you have, you know, if you don't have your entry fragger, I mean, the duo with Nitro and Elige in the front, and instead you have only Nitro, and then you have Mo, which is, you know, an AWPer, right? And you have to work around that. Like, you have to think of, okay, what can we do here without our secondary, you know, entry fragger? So then it's all on that Adren actually
I mean, all on Adren and
carry.
Mo. I mean, can we talk a little bit about Mo? Where do we stand on him as an individual? I remember his first debut in the Pro League, where he didn't get a single frag, and we had this kind of horrible smirk on our faces when we were like, that's not the, like, you know, you want to hit the ground running and you could drop 0-16 or something, like, really abysmal. What do you think, Cbble? We'll start with you for Mo. Just, I mean, what can we expect coming into this one? Feel free to not pull any punches.
No, I mean, apart from in the interview already to start, you know, where it's like, well, Mo isn't Elige, guys, so, you know, we don't know what to expect. I still think that there's this element of surprise that's going to be working in Mo's favor, because he's a streamer, he's under a lot of scrutiny all the time because he's constantly getting under red, he's getting a lot of attention for being this like crazy hype man and just overreacting in situations and having this personality, right? Now, however, he needs to tone all that back and show us that he's capable of playing in a more constructed manner with a team in a pro setting where it isn't about putting on a show, it's about putting on a show in that server with your AWP, wrecking people. Yeah. The scrimmy approach is going to, I think, benefit them because it plays into like what Kenny was saying, where it's like, we don't really know what to expect from them.
Of course.
Well, that's exactly it, right? It's like that element of surprise is going to be key for Liquid. If they get an upset here, and Mo himself said upset of the century, if they get an upset here, it's all going to be on the fact that, you know, Mo and these guys are going to just do something random, do something scrimmy, and catch the Frenchman off guard.
You think it's something he's capable of, you know, kind of taking that streaming personality away for this one, Blue?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've already seen him play to some degree on a professional level in the North American Pro League because he played for those who don't remember, he played for Threes Up for a couple weeks in this season in itself. So he's playing on the North American side already. And when he was playing for it, Threes Up were doing phenomenally well, beating out some of the top teams in North America. And he was the one top fragging to a certain degree on these teams too in many of the matchups. So Mo has shown that he can definitely frag and he can definitely be a very top tier player. And again, that could be a huge swing factor. Yeah, in an A, granted.
Good. Nice little ellipsis. But I mean, we've seen evidence of it with the addition of the FPL in North America already. There's a different approach. Whenever you watch his stream when he's playing an FPL game, usually, I mean, 90% of the time, there have been a couple of exceptions to that, but he does seem like he's lost a lot of that kind of abrasive. Like, yeah, have you watched any of it? He's been a lot calmer. Like he'll kind of be a much more reserved personality when he's in the FPL games. I think he's got a lot more respect for his opponents and his teammates.
I don't think it's anything about respect. I just think he wants to win, right?
He
I
wants
mean,
to
Mo's
win,
been in the
maybe.
scene for so long, and he's a competitor. It's the same with, I mean, you can even take Summit. Look at how Summit streams when he's playing
true.
FPL compared to when he's not, right? Same for they're competitors, you know. And when you have that kind of competition, yeah, you want to do your best, right?
FPL is
but you
different.
still have Mo. I mean, I would actually not mind Mo being Mo at this.
Like it would be quite fun to have Mo being just like shouting at Kenny, like, come on!
I mean, I would think that would.
Where's
that would
my
be
off,
funny.
guys?
Why? God damn it! Just fucking. I cursed. Sorry.
He did. That's it. That's one. One for the swear
producer told
jar.
us to have
Is
fun
God
with
damn
it.
it another is a curse? Is
No,
that a curse?
I said the F word.
You did?
A little
did.
bit. A little bit.
If you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't even know. That just
I
got
caught myself.
right.
For Flaren swear jar, we're gonna actually get one if you carry on as well.
Actually, that happens quite frequently. At least once every event.
What, in
Well,
the
you're a
Twitch
Swede,
offices?
you know, you're used to
Yeah,
working,
yeah, yeah.
in a bit more of a loose atmosphere.
Did you say it now as well? Thank you. Okay, I'm not alone.
That's two. Okay, you guys are going to be buying us dinner by the end of this one with a swear jar.
I'm
but-
okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about Envy. We've addressed Liquid in some detail. Envy. It seems like the story surrounding them is this whole kind of won the major, looked incredible, and like they've kind of fallen off. And themselves, they're saying themselves, like we heard Kenny say, you know, we've kind of, I don't know, we didn't prepare as much as we should have for DreamHack.
We struggle. I think it's a motivation question because you always kind of see this where it's like you get to the top and all of a sudden all that pressure comes off. Because it's just like, you know,
done
there's
it.
that release, right? Where it's
Right.
like, yeah, we've done it. And Kenny, Apex in particular, like, they don't have the experience of Kiyoshima, NBK, Happy, you know, the major championship winners. So for them, I think it was definitely, you know, a bit of a learning curve there as far as like, okay, we've reached the peak, we've reached the top. What next? You know, like now you have to be able to actually grind. That's when it turns into the grind. It's not the honeymoon anymore. It's like, okay, now it's work.
Yeah.
And can they maintain?
Did they take quite an extended break after winning the major? I'm pretty sure I heard Nathan saying like we took 2 weeks, we didn't touch the game kind of thing. That can play into it. Like a big gap of play, would you say?
Essentially sort of a reset, and then they come back, and if things aren't immediately back to where they start off, obviously, if you said before, that just sinks things back down. It hurts the confidence to a really big degree.
And I mean, talking of confidence, that is a very confidence-based team. You know, you've got some personalities that need that kind of wind beneath their wings in order to get going. For Flaren, what about you? You think these guys have still kind of got it in them to be that contender for the top
Yeah,
spot?
of course. I mean, look at their players, right?
I mean, that's
they have,
it. Look at the
in
roster.
terms of like being stacked, I mean, Envy is one of the most stacked teams in the world. So yeah, they have the talent. It's just when things doesn't work out, then you need to rework how you actually approach the game, and that's not something we saw the past tournament. And then now coming into this one, I mean, Samuel was saying that, you know, he spoke to us happy that they actually put in time now to probably end the year with a bang. So I'm really hoping that we see a better Envy than what we saw the past tournament, because that was not even fun to watch.
That's something that we kind of have to touch on throughout the day as well, though, because we're getting into that weird situation where it's the last tournament of the year. You know, that finish line is here, right? Where it's like we're going to have 2 weeks where we don't have to play, right? You know, 3 weeks where we don't have to play. But I mean, you know, that is going through the players' minds as well, where it's just like, okay, you know, almost off, but still have to win this. So, you know, that there's that mental gymnastics that has to happen where they have to actually, you know, get the focus going again to just lock out this year strong. So that's where it could also be really difficult for like teams like Envy to maintain that razor keen edge. Whereas, you know, you have teams like Liquid where nobody expects anything of them. This is their big chance, right? They're going to be hungry. So I don't think it's as clear cut as
I'm gonna poke you for
that.
that one. No one expects anything out of them. Is that not a huge exaggeration? I think Liquid are now
Liquid?
being seen as like
No, but I'm saying you have a stand-in as well, right?
Yeah,
okay,
stand-in.
yeah,
Different
okay,
if you
fair,
have a
fair, fair.
stand-in, and yes, you're North America, but you're playing against the team that won the last
Oh, yes,
major.
of course. But I mean, there's
probably
something.
5
There's
of the
some
most
expectation, wouldn't you say?
ridiculously talented players in CS:GO. Yeah, there is a gap. There's no getting around it. There is a
Yeah,
gap.
Liquid have also lost their good stride too, because I mean, even when they were starting to contend a little bit more, or at least looking like they could have contended a little bit more with some of these European teams, that's dropped off by a huge degree after the major, and we just haven't seen as strong of a roster anymore. And now that they have a fill-in as well, as you mentioned, that's just bringing them down even more.
And it's not as if, you know, it's like, okay, it's Fugly who's getting, you know, who's not here. You know, it's their wombo combo. It's like Nitro Elise, you know, yes, Fugly does well in pistols. You know, everybody has their moment to shine. Hiko with the lurks. But the guys who are doing the work to get them onto the sites, it's that Nitro Elise, you know, like 100%. One guy, you know, there's always that trade frag, or Elise just walks in, gets 2 headshots, or Nitro does that, or what. You know, they work so well together. So in a key match right now that could really put them ahead in the groups, they're not going to have that double punch. that's what's a little, you know, so that's where it's like that random element has to really come in here. Mo has to just show up and be like, okay, guys, you trusted in me. I'm here now.
Yeah.
I'm going to, you know, pick up the slack. It's going to be different because it's with an op, but like there's something has to happen.
Something has to happen. I mean, maps are going to play a big part of that, so we may as well talk about the veto that has gone down, so we can talk a little bit about how that one went out.
Has it gone down,
It went
Alex?
down. They threw down the
Damn,
gauntlet.
son.
They were like, yeah, I'm going to veto
See
a map.
these fat maps.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. So, I mean, let's walk it through. Envy going for their first veto on Overpass, so putting a lot of priority on that one, and Inferno taken away by Liquid. Then the first picks came in. We had Envy take Cbble, Cash was picked up by Liquid, and then we had the Dust 2 and Train taken away for Mirage as our third. Start with Liquid Corner then. For maps for them, Cash is their first pick. Does that kind of, that make sense to you from someone that's casted them an awful lot?
Yeah, I would say this lines up. I mean, among the North American teams in general, Cash is a very popular map, and Liquid is definitely one that can play it to their strengths against North American teams. The biggest thing for Liquid here is going to be the fact that they don't really have a whole lot of good experience versus European teams, so they're going to have to adjust to that playstyle and whatnot, and that could hurt them deeply if they're not ready for it.
And Envy opting for Cbble as well.
No
That's, I mean,
surprise.
that makes a lot of sense.
That's their map.
Yeah.
Like, they're one of the more solid teams on it. I think that they'll be able to adapt well to any situation on there. They have so much experience on the map now. That's a safe bet for Envy. That's a map that they would take in any series. So, no surprise there.
And I mean, you're making it clear how you're feeling about this first map going down. Of course, the first map will be Cbble. I'm going to start poking people for predictions for map 1. Fifth, I haven't heard from you yet. What are you thinking about the veto and also for this matchup?
I was expecting Dust 2 actually for Liquid, because when you have, I mean, again, you have to play to your current strengths, right? And if you don't have a leash, then you need to pick a map that's very open, so you can benefit from the standing that you have. Especially, I mean, you could have run a dual op setup there as well. So you have Mo, you have Adren there. So but now we won't see that. Instead, they pick Cash, and Cash is a little bit, you know,
And they had a choice. They had a choice.
They
Dust 2
could have
was,
done first,
Dust 2 was
because
part of the map, so it's
Envy
open.
vetoed Overpass. It's always their first ban, right? So then they had a choice to just pick that and just do a little bit more screamy kind of a game. Instead, they go with the route where, well, yeah, we don't have the core 5, but let's just try and play like we do have the core 5, right? That's not the mentality you should have coming into this one.
You're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, now, yeah, Envy obviously is going to pick Cobblestone, the best map. Sure, it's probably a good map for their Opera as well, for Liquid. But I'm going to say that Envy will get away with it on Cobblestone.
So looking good for them on Cbble.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing?
I have to agree. Cbble is going to go Envy's way.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with him as well. Overall, I mean, Envy, again, they've had some weaknesses on this map recently, but that more plays into the generalities of that this team has looked weaker in general. But still, more times than not, they're still winning this map versus team where they should always come out on top of, and this is going to be one of those matchups in my eyes.
Yeah. I have to really get on board with Fifth, where it's like you want maps that are going to be like scrim face. You know,
So we probably
if we're
should have seen
making
a
that the
Dust 2,
focus.
is the main criticism of that veto for
I think
Liquid.
so. I mean, I think Happy was kind of like he left it in there, or I mean, it's there
Well,
because
like
they
a
have to
little
ban
treat, like you're
Overpass.
kinda
But yeah,
dangling
it's
it,
like a little
like a
bit of a
little carrot.
dare, you know, like are you going to do it? You going to do it? You going to do it? Mo, you want to go toe to toe with Kenny on Dust 2, right, bro? You know, like
It's game time,
and,
guys.
No, but people still think that Envy is best Dust 2 team in the world, right? Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
But this was half a
long
year
time ago, yeah.
It was a long time ago.
That's not where they are right now. So, but we'll see.
We most definitely will, and we're going to go ahead and jump straight on into the casting. It's going to be Lauren and Sean standing by. How are you two cuties doing?
Wow, cuties, I don't know, next to this guy, it's pretty hard to look attractive generically. So how are you feeling anyway, right? Like, let's be real here. This guy turns up like the most handsome man in the world. It's depressing. Anyway, how are you feeling about this matchup head-to-head here?
Liquid's going to have a lot of troubles right now. We're kind of laughing about it when Nitro was giving the interview. Cbble is a really strong map for EnVyUS, and Liquid's going to struggle very heavily on that map, especially because you're replacing Elish, who typically will entry out of that upper B area, with Mo and Opera. And also Elish plays the B bomb site, and you're replacing him with an Opera again. Both sides of the map are going to be heavily affected by that replacement. Second map, Cash, they can run dual op setups. That'll work out really well for them. I actually like the map pick of Cash. Third map, I would have preferred that they stuck with Train. It was the final veto that they had instead of picking Mirage, because EnVyUS has a very strong Mirage. It's something that they recently added to their map pool, so if they can manage to get to the third map, which I don't even think they'll be able to do, then they'd still probably lose there.
Yeah, it's an insanely hard map pool coming into this, and let's be honest here. You know, Cash, it is Liquid's best map statistically, but then there's still Envy in your way. You know, you can't, as the desk said, or the couch said, I guess I should call it. You know, it's all good and well playing to your strengths at this point, but they're not the same team. They're not the same 5 as they normally were. And what are your thoughts actually going into, playing into, let's say, Cash rather than Dust 2, as they were saying on the couch that maybe they should have embraced that puggy style a little more, but do you think they're just going to try and stick to what they know here, or What are your thoughts on that one?
I think so. North American teams have a very good sense of how EnVyUS plays on cash based on Cloud9's success over the summer when we played them. EnVyUS hasn't really changed much about their CT side since then, even though they changed players. So they'll still fall a lot into a 2-1-2 setup with Apex playing mid solo. And it's really about how you abuse that 2-1-2 setup and take control of mid, force them to push A main, maybe look for picks there. Happy and NBK are very predictable in the A-bomb site, and you'll always know that you'll find Kenny with the AWP in the B-bomb site. So it's just on Liquid to find good counters to that setup, and we'll see if they can do it.
So let's talk attitude then coming in this for Liquid. As said, you know, there isn't the biggest amount of pressure. I think Semler highlighted that one. He's like, well, let's be honest here, they're coming in probably going to be pretty relaxed. They've got to stand in there. But do you start having to believe in that a little bit? Because surely you still want to win, right? That's the end of the day. You can't take it too lightly. But how much do you need to change coming in with something like a stand-in, I guess, at this point? Is it just like, okay, pinch of salt, let's see how Mo does? Or do they need to really focus on surrounding Mo and trying to play to his strengths? Or how do you think that's going to kind of fill out there?
It's really hard to say, honestly, because I would almost rather have Mo call for this specific day of the event. Adren is a much better strat caller than Mo, but the way Liquid runs their tactics right now is they're very heavy on set pieces, and they have all set strats. Their players aren't used to playing with a lot of freedom, and I think switching that up today with Adren calling could go very bad for them. I really do. But with Mo calling, Mo calls a lot of puggy strats. I mean, people watch his stream. He's a very dominant personality, and he'll take over comms, and he will call strats. He may even overcall Adren in this best of 3. So if he calls puggy strats, I think they have a higher likelihood of stealing a map or two, maybe.
See, I am curious about coming into Cbble here, because the thing before that we saw, I think it was against actually like, I think it was like Na'Vi or something they're playing up against, and they did so well at one point, then it just fell away because Guardian decided to come into his own, right? Which is nothing too uncommon to anyone who's ever played against Guardian. Once he starts firing, he becomes a beast. You know, once he gets that AWP in his hand. But you know, coming into this, they were very set against Na'Vi. But do you think they're going to be able to even replicate that sort of set style coming against Envy? Is there a way to play this on like the T side, for example, or are they just going to be struggling just from the start and just have to go for that puggy pick after a while?
I don't know. I'm not sure if they could teach Mo a couple smokes really quick on the fly that he can throw. Like I said, Liquid has so many good tactics, but they all require everyone on the team to know their roles and specific timings and their grenades. And with a new stand-in like Nitro said that didn't even get to practice with the team, I don't know how they're going to replicate that.
I'm kind of interested to see how they operate without Elige, because he was such a dominating factor, especially opening up towards B, and just generally being that nuisance on platform, kind of followed up as well by, you know, like the likes of Nitro coming in and everyone else. So I'm interested to see what they can bring. It's more like it's just a big question mark around them. It's just, you know, if they turn up, if Mo finds his role, if everything falls in the right place, we could have a good game on our hands, because there was a downturn in Envy's performance. I think no one's disputing that. Even the guys themselves are saying, you know, we slumped a little bit. And, you know, I think you're a team who's had to, well, previously, I guess, you know, back in the days with Cloud9 now, it's like you guys had your high points and then you guys did kind of tone down as well. How do you come into that now? Because you know, like, okay, people know we're on a downturn. People know that we've not had our best, let's say, couple of games recently. Does that mentally affect you in a game, do you think? Or is it like they're veteran enough by now that's like, okay, match by match, round by round?
I think it does affect your confidence a lot. And Counter-Strike is a very confidence-driven game where confidence plays a huge role in your individual decisions that you make every round. There's thousands of decisions that you can make every turn, every peak. And if you're less confident in not making the peaks that you need to make, it'll cause you to lose rounds. So it's important that both teams remain confident, even though they haven't had much success recently. I think EnVyUS is naturally a very confident team. And obviously their recent failure at the last event, like Kenny said, is likely due to lack of preparation.
Okay, we'll see how that comes into effect, because I remember speaking to Nathan before they got, MBK, excuse me, before they got into the hotel, and he was like saying, yeah, we're just going to see how we go here. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. We know we're not playing the best games of our lives, you know, on a consistent basis, but they still have so much talent. You know, that team is obscenely set with talented players, and in-game leadership was actually a bit of a hot topic with these guys for quite some time, and the style that they bring and how they're a little bit, let's say, different to other teams and how the in-game leadership is. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know you used to, you know, you were an in-game leader. You were quite a hands-on in-game leader as well. What are your thoughts on EnVy's style coming into this?
EnVyUS has the most dynamic and broad range of styles out of any of the professional teams right now, with Fnatic having a roster change and a few of the other teams, ex-TSM having some problems recently. I think that EnVyUS right now has such a good grasp on the map pool and being able to run slow defaults on maps like Cbble, Mirage, Dust 2, Cache, which is something that a lot of people don't know about them, is secretly they're a very good slow-paced team now, and everyone's just thinking that EnVyUS is this fast-paced team still, very puggy, doesn't have a lot of strats. They've changed drastically since those days, and they're a much more complete team now.
Okay, I want to see if that comes into this game because, you know, they said that they weren't exactly, they're not going to take Liquid lightly, but I think there's a pinch of salt coming into that for those guys. You know, their eyes are probably on the other teams further ahead, but, you know, we've seen people, you know, trip and make mistakes at that point by looking too far ahead maybe, but still, we are just waiting for the game to kick up, guys. We aren't holding you back at all. We are just going to wait for the players to get comfortable, get super set in here, and make sure they're comfortable to start the game up. But I want your predictions actually coming into this because, you know, the desk was saying it's probably going to be about 2-0. Are you in the same boat here?
It could be a 2-1 in favor of EnVyUS.
Okay.
Liquid can steal cash for sure. Cbble will be a big uphill battle for them. EnVyUS is going to run slow defaults, take control of the A halls. They're going to do plateau takes at B, and Mo and Nitro just don't have the teamwork right now to hold that kind of hit. So it's going to be on how Hiko holds the A halls on Cbble, if they even if they stand any chance at all on Cbble. It's all on Hiko to come up huge in the A halls, and maybe Mo can lock down the B bomb site with an op. I mean,
see, personally, for me, I'd absolutely love to see Mo just go, like, warm straight into this, not mess around. And if he gets loud, you know, the thing with Envy is they have been now noted to be a team who's had a couple of issues performance-wise recently. You know, obviously had the big victory, then a couple of, you know, performance here, you know, issues here and there, just, you know, maybe not practicing as much. If Mo gets in your head and you're starting to lose out to a stand-in, like, the thing is that I know KennyS takes a lot of it very personally as well. He's a very emotional guy when it comes to how he plays. If you get someone in your head already and you're like, what's going on here? I think there could be a spiral if maybe they get off to a good start, but your thoughts on that as well, like momentum-based stuff, just knowing your opponent and knowing, okay, it's stand-in, it's an NA team, right, if we're going to play that card, surely they've got to be kind of worried that if they don't get the start they want, is that ever going to kick in, you know what I mean, where KennyS gets a little down, you know, people start getting a little bit, you know, fired up, but what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you did say momentum. Like,
momentum,
you can't say momentum without Mo.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big factor in this game. If EnVyUS gets off to early leads in any of the maps, they're probably going to run away with whatever map they get off the lead in. They're so good in the first 5 rounds of a match. Pistol rounds, second rounds, first gun rounds. Those are the rounds that Liquid needs to come up huge. They need to have great individual plays and just ride that. Like you said, they need to ride the momentum to the win from there, because EnVyUS does crumble late game. They'll start going slower and slower and slower, but you have to make them appreciate you and be scared of you.
Well, this is the thing, it was a discussion we've had, you know, in regards to Fnatic before. It's like, you know, they come in with a super aggressive style on occasion, you know, quite puggy in a way. They'll play very loose, and it's hard to predict them, but you have to make them respect you first, and then you can kind of run the anti-strats that you've come up with. I think this may be a factor coming in for Envy if, you know, let's say Liquid have prepared anything up their sleeve, but still, of course, Cash being up next, you said there are options there. The Envy aren't this kind of very closed book. People know how they play it. They know, you know, roughly where they want to play, but then, of course, it's how do you undo that is the next thing. You know, these guys can still hit shots like absolute beasts. So that's that one. But then let's say it does get to that third map and we're going into Mirage. What can we expect from these two teams? Because I'm not so familiar with Liquid's Mirage kind of performance there. I don't know too much about them. I know that you've probably got a better beat on them than I do. What can we expect from them coming into that third map if they make it that far?
Yeah, actually, I do like Mirage as a map for Liquid. Mo and Adren could definitely run a double op setup on CT side if they choose to. I'm not sure if they're going to let Mo up T side Mirage. They're going to try to get a lot of mid control on EnVyUS, because if they don't, they're going to be running into walls in both the sites. EnVyUS is going to get mid control in them, and that's where I fear for Liquid, is that EnVyUS is going to have a monster T half where Liquid can't hold mid at CT. They're going to struggle with it heavily. They're going to have to push the extremities of the map because they're not going to be able to control mid.
Well, several factors coming. That's, of course, the third map if we make it that far, bearing in mind this could be a 2-0. I hope for a little more, personally. I'd love to see Liquid come into this and really kind of push the boat out. Even if they don't pick up that third map in the end, if they make it that far, that'd be absolutely brilliant to see. But Nathan seems super happy with warm-up already, so he's happy at least. You know, he's getting riled up. But no, we are still waiting, I can imagine, on a couple of issues to be resolved. I'm just looking around if I see admins on the stage or what's going on. But they're just warming up, I guess. But until that point, like, I think I'm with you on this. I think... Joe, I reckon it's going to be a 2-1. I'm going to give some faith over to Liquid. I'm going to believe for now.
So
I believe in Mo.
Something I didn't really bring up about the second map is EnVyUS does have a possible to anti-strat CT side, but their T side is still absolutely insane, and I don't know how Liquid's going to stop it.
Well, it's the question, right? The thing is, you can understand exactly how a team plays, right? You could probably have positions down to an absolute T, but you still have to win those 1v1s, right, at the end of the day, and it's like, especially on that T side, they are monstrous players. Like, just flat out. Individually, they're ridiculous on it. As a team, they're obscene on it, so it's hard to handle these guys, especially when they start building up rounds that they shouldn't. You know, everyone knows in the team that forces up consistently, right?
Yeah.
And then you lose like rifle rounds to it, you just get more and more and more frustrated. They are a team in getting ahead, but the EnVy guys seem chilled out, to be fair. They seem pretty happy over there. I'm just like staring them down. It's quite an intimate atmosphere in a way in this studio. It's not this massive kind of event, so I'm kind of hoping we get to see Mo going a little bit wild, to be fair, but I do think we are now moments. So once again, guys at home, apologies for the slightly slower start, but things are going to be starting up very, very soon, and we can get this one beginning. There we go. We're live into game, finally. Ow! This is all I'm after. And I think we've got the knife coming up first. I do believe so. Yeah, it should be the knife to kick off with. What are your thoughts as well? T-sided map, CT-sided map? Because I know there's a little bit of discussion on occasion as to who likes T-side, who likes CT. It's not a completely, you know, whitewash map where it's, you know, you're known for it being a CT side. How do you stand on this one?
I still think Cobblestone is a T-sided map. So there was a meta switch when Cobblestone was this new Cobblestone was first released.
Yeah.
No one really had the idea of throwing the smoke on the plateau as a T and getting out on top of the plateau, taking control of that area. Once people figured that out, namely Fnatic and Olaf Meister, the map became heavily T-sided. And then the meta changed where the CTs had a counter to that. So now teams like EnVyUS are doing very slow A defaults, taking control of the halls, pushing people back, and then coming back to B, or doing an A take and doing like a 5 versus 2 hit on A, or a 4 versus 2 hit on A with a guy lurking in the drop. So those two things are most prevalent on the map, and they're very, very hard for the CTs to hold. The CTs have to make plays in order to stop shots like that from happening. So I definitely give the edge to the Ts.
All right, let's see who picks what side, because I'd kind of like Liquid to come in and take that T side. Just hit them up straight away, just go into it warm and, you know, just try and make those shots, get players like Mo firing already, give them the chance to really achieve in this one. And it does seem as though, if I'm not mistaken, I thought it was Liquid who won that knife, but it does seem as though it will be Liquid on the CT side and EnVy starting on the T side here. And already we can see Happy being the raid boss as kind of, I guess, noted, picking up the Tech-9, smoke and a couple of flashes around, but EnVy, straight up.
Yeah, here we have Spencer making an information play over at A. Hiko's going to peek mid, allow Liquid to stack 4 people towards the B bomb site. Great nade right there coming out of Liquid. I think that was Nitro, maybe. No. Yeah, Nitro down in drop.
All right, so Apex going to flash himself in towards drop here. There are 4 players, bearing in mind. MBK's gone and found a Dren, but Nitro can lock this one down pretty comfortably, but no, Happy comes through, and now we're down to 2 players left standing. Hiko was over by A, I suppose rotate on, and now Happy leaps out, and it's a clean pick up there. Only Apex dropping, and it looked like another day at, you know, the office for EnVy that time.
Funny thing about that pistol round right there by EnVyUS, it's the exact pistol round they ran in the finals versus Na'Vi at the last major. Watched it this morning.
And is that something that, okay, with that in mind, you know, Liquid put 4 players towards B. Did they have that in mind and then just didn't stop it, or?
Yeah, I think they felt out that hit, actually. That was an anti to that exact hit by EnVyUS, and they just got demolished. And again, we have Liquid stacking the B bomb site, EnVyUS making a very good read, doing a slow default, spreading out the map.
Beautiful start there. Nitro going to claim Happy's scalp, but still 4 players standing. We do have the rifle lease in the hands of MBK so far, but not too much gathered just yet by the EnVyUS side, but they are kind of edging towards A this time. Fugly's still here. You know that he switched up a little bit. It was Hiko before being the man over by A, but a slower approach here, and Fugly's going to be the man to probably get the first bit of contact over towards his side, and it's Nathan MBK just round the corner. He just can't hit that shot quick enough, but Nitro making up for the slack here. He's already got 2 kills. He's down a little low. He could probably switch that Deagle out if he wants to try and help his team in this, but Apex already making the play towards the side. Kenny S has gone and found Nitro, and things are starting to build up for EnVyUS. Bomb is on the side itself. Apex trying to hold them back. And 3v2. Liquid a little locked out here.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Liquid move more people towards the A bomb site, especially after that initial kill at drop. You kill Happy at the drop. You know that he's the drop lurker. So EnVyUS is more likely to push the A side of the map at that point rather than taking back an area and forcing someone that's not used to going drop to go drop. They probably should have rotated a guy back sooner.
All right, so relatively clean so far for EnVyUS. Only losing out on a couple of players throughout the first 2 rounds, and going to be upgrading to another rifle to be joined in. Kenny is going to pick that one up for now. MBK going to be going back in on the dualies, so we're going to see the SMGs come out to play, and onto the CT side, of course. Not too much going on this round.
Yeah, an important thing to note is that Mo opted to save, not by armor that last round, so he can afford an op on the first gun round. So you can see that he is going to be the primary opper this match for Liquid.
All right, so a little bit of a different start here, but Happy, regardless, is going to go and find Nitro. So Hiko's going to be trying to get Happy down here, but nice little counter push coming out from this one. Might actually be able to catch off Apex for a second, but Apex going to pick up Fugly and Adren, a little bit maybe of a bit of a fumble then on towards A long, but most picked up, and it's going to be probably another clean round coming out. Maybe not. Hiko fancies doing something. Only gets one, but at least, you know, picks up a little bit of something for that 5-7 purchase.
Yeah, Liquid is now in a really tough spot because EnVyUS could buy for a few rounds in a row here. Liquid's going to need to shut them down multiple gun rounds.
Is this happening? Apex? MBK?
Oh, yeah.
Are you doing
and
this right now?
This is something that EnVyUS is known for, actually, keeping these SMGs on the first gun round after they win the pistol or win an eco, because they know that the CTs are less likely to have head armor. For instance, Adren doesn't have head armor. Mo actually probably should have not had head armor and bought nades. So the SMGs are very strong right now.
All right, keep our eyes on that then. Let's see if Apex can find anything. It's going to be Fugly on the front lines, though. Does pick up one as Hiko babysitting from the back there. Does manage to shut them down, and finally Liquid take a bit of a step back. Really nice little 1-2 combo. As they pushed out, Hiko and Adren just doing the work.
Yeah, that was a great play right there by Liquid, stacking the B-bomb site. And again, EnVyUS is falling into the exact formula they ran at the Major. That's the first gun round they used against Navi.
So this is just kind of like EnVyUS's playbook as they like to do it, right?
So it's not like EnVyUS is taking it easy right now in Liquid. This is just, they're running their best stuff right now. Okay.
So Kennyus wasn't, you know, joking around. He is going to be playing it out as they want to, and this might be an opportunity for Mo to finally get into this matchup. Playing out by A, he's going to have the shot there towards, not sure who that was pushed up. There's about 2 or 3 players still there, and he's going to be joining Nitro on by long.
Yeah, and here's that A default that EnVyUS likes running when they take control of the halls right now. They're going to force Liquid to fall back into the site. Mo with a great shot on Kennyus.
Absolutely perfect. He does actually end up falling, though. It's Apex pushing through. Adren finally stops the rot and is down to 3 players for the T side, but it is a 3v3. The 2 players over by B haven't shown their hand yet.
Yeah, and when Happy lurks the drop, it's so important that this player in drop is able to stop him and not let him lurk into the connector.
All right, Hiko's had a big game so far, at least from this position, kind of picking up that first rifle round so importantly, but it's going to be Fugly, who just gets destroyed by MBK. That is the side looking pretty open here. Hiko's going to be watching that cross, but spots one, waits it out, looking for anyone else to push up here, takes the challenge towards MBK, but he does need Adren to come over pretty darn soon, and Molly's going to force him out. Great pick up there towards MBK. That's the bomb loose. 35 seconds. He's got to expect players close by here, but right in that smoke. Next to him, Flash comes out. He's got a chance to take the peek. And nice shot again from Hiko. Takes down Keo. It's down to Happy in a 1v2, and that Molly, I think, just tickled him a touch, but he's pushing up so slowly. Hiko has no idea he's here. Happy's gone and found him, but finally locked down by Adren. And again, Hiko being so important to these rounds.
Yeah, that was a massive round right there by Hiko. Great job staying alive, getting in a spot where Adren could trade that last kill, and they finally did a good job of breaking EnVyUS's money, although EnVyUS looks like they're going to probably force buy here, because that's what they're known for doing. And they'll likely do some kind of set piece, maybe a really fast play towards A, or a set piece towards B. Could be either one.
All right, let's keep our eyes on what EnVyUS are up to then.
It looks like they're going to probably go with the set piece towards B.
So far, the man on your screen right now has hindered every single time EnVyUS has been trying to use this. Where it's Happy lurking in through drop, he's been doing wonderfully, stopping them. Now Fugly fancies his chances. Does get a little bit of damage done towards Keo and Kenny. But MBK is just waiting on the verge here. About to jump in, gets the flash down, gonna be able to catch out one. No, Fugly makes it away. Great little pickup again by Hiko. Takes down one. We're down to 4 players here now. EnVyUS still have those Tech 9s available. And Keo with the rifle. Apex finds another. It's Nitro trying to do the damage, but no, he falls. The bomb's loose. There's only 2 players standing. Make it 1 as Mo just gets picked up by drop. And Adren with 19 HP has to find 2.
This is a huge round for EnVyUS, and they know it, because Liquid won a 1 vs 1 in that last round. This is going to break Liquid's money if they lose. Whoever wins this round is going to be a massive economical advantage moving forward.
It's not how he wanted to start it off, at least. He had a chance towards Apex then, but couldn't pick up the shot now. Leering in, not going to get it. Apex shuts him down, and a nice round coming out from EnVyUS in the end. It was the 3 Tech 9s, 2 rifles coming in. And it did, you know, it went back and forward, but once they got onto that side, they just seemed to lock it down.
Yeah, and Liquid did a lot of things that I liked that round. So they gave up the drop knowing that they were playing against Tech 9s. They actually smoked off the exit of drop. And that's why when you saw Apex run into that corner, he threw an underhand flash to get through. But by that point, they were already swarmed on the site. Liquid was pinched in a really bad spot, probably because lack of teamwork with the new lineup.
Maybe the coordination's not quite there yet, and Apex already going to push Adren a little further back, and T-side playing a little slow this time.
Yeah, and here we have all of Liquid buying pistol head armor, and something that I don't really like when I see in professional CS is the CTs buying head armor like this when they know they're playing all AKs and an AWP. not really a point in having a head armor. Probably skimped on a couple smokes when they shouldn't have.
A couple of options maybe they could have kept in mind here, but they're going to be double stacking out by drop. Mo's going to join Hiko there, but it does seem as though this is a very, very meticulous play out from EnVyUS, just taking the time, clearing these corners. You can't really blame them. They know these guys can do a little bit of damage. Bomb is still by A, and it's going to be a Dren on the peak there. Does catch out Apex, backs away. Can't get a rifle to hand, but he's going to go back in for more, and Kenny's going to get caught out here. One shot comes in, great stuff again from a Dren. Desperate to pick up the gun, though. He's got the AWP to hand, can't put it to use. MBK pushes through, but we're in a 3v2 here.
Yeah, Liquid still has the numbers in this situation, but EnVyUS has massive situational advantage here, being in the site, post-plant. Liquid's going to have to hit a shot or two to enter here.
And Keo trying to deny that doorway entrance as much as feasibly possible, but look at this. Nitro's going to recover the rifle, taking down Keo. Now it's down to MBK in a 1v3. Great turnaround from Liquid.
Great flank right there by Nitro. Good job. Probably told his teammates right there to wait for him to exit out the halls. Strong play right there from Nitro.
Yeah, really nice stuff from that guy. And I didn't even see him coming, to be fair. As soon as he switched around, I was like, oh my god, how the hell did he get to that spot? It's just...
I didn't see him on the radar either because he was way over on the corner.
Well, nicely done. Making a big difference then. And let's kind of take into account what we've seen so far. We're at 3-4. Envy kind of doing what we expect. The force buys coming through. And to be fair, they actually did really well off the back of the last one. This time, going to be investing a little bit more into the rifles rather than just the Tech 9s and such. Is this another one you've always got to be on your toes for? Because last time, it did pay off.
Yeah, it did, and this is a round that will determine the fate of Liquid for the rest of this half, probably. So if they can stop EnVyUS here and not even allow a plant, they might end up winning this half.
So something relatively similar from EnVyUS here. Just looking through towards B. We do have 4 players here from Liquid. They know what's possibly coming their way. Now, Fugly last time did get caught out, but Hiko this time falls. That means drops open, but nice work coming in from Mo. Going to find Apex and try and lock down drop as much as possible, but his back is so open right now. He's out on his own. He needs to do some damage here, but just gets swept aside by MBK, and suddenly EnVyUS again have B control. They have dropped down and just under complete wraps, and it's all into the hands of a Dren, and he can do nothing in that instance. EnVyUS picking up that very important round.
Yeah, and it was pretty much the same exact thing that EnVyUS ran prior round when they were on a Tech 9 AK buy, where they split drop and upper. I'm not really sure why Liquid isn't getting anyone up on the plateau to stop that. They're smoking it early. They could easily get a guy up there. They can get Mo up there with the op and wait for the smoke to fade. They could boost someone up. There's a lot of options, or even Mo opping Fountain or the Hut, but they're just opting to play double drop.
Well, last time, at least Hiko did a little bit more damage from that. This time he just got picked up instantly off the back of that. So, as I said, 3-5 EnVyUS. Not kind of relentlessly keeping themselves into this game, be it with full rifles or not, or AWPs. Always looking to test here, but Mo actually is going to be up on towards the platform this time, so maybe they can, take a leaf out of what you're saying. But it does seem as though Envy very cautious again, doing almost the same rounds they did before when they knew they were up against the pistols. Now, it did work out a little differently before because of some brilliant work coming out from Nitro, but this time, caution certainly going to be aired here as Keo and Happy going to make their way through towards drop, split through, a 3-2 split coming in towards A, and now they've got it under wraps. They've got the doors locked down, Keo's going to be playing it out, and now they're going to get all the information in the world. Not sure what's happened there. Hopefully the observers are good. Oh, okay, we're back. Oh, no, we're not. Not sure what's going on here, guys. Hopefully we can get that resolved for you real quick, but it's kind of ended up the way it was supposed to be. Not sure how it went down, but all in all, Envy do pick up the round.
Yeah, and I like this call right here by Happy, basically to smoke the left side of drop and push towards the connector. Round after round, he's seeing resistance from the left side, doesn't really encounter anyone on the right side by the window. So on this anti-eco, where they may expect a 5-7 head armor buy like they had the previous round, he opts to smoke the left and instantly go through the window, which is a pretty good read on what Liquid's been doing.
Alright, so we got Mo back at least with the AWP for now. And I want to see this guy make a big impression. He did relatively well. He already dealt with one player towards drop before, and this is the start we've been looking for. Mo with a double coming out, Apex and Kenny falling to his hand. And they've got to expect more players by this point. 3 still waiting there. Mo, the only man dedicated to A thus far. We're going to see players retracting back, but already Nitro's gone walkabouts. This is a perfect angle to watch him if he just takes his time, spots 1, spots out 2, takes the shot on the second, and now it's a 5v2.
Yeah, smart play by Nitro to let the first guy pass, get that frag, easy frag on the second guy. He has information on where one guy is right now. Smart play by Nitro. Good play by Mo too, because EnVyUS is trying to pick up the pace this round, and what they're doing is they're basically seeing what they can get away with. They've tried their best game so far. They have the economic advantage. They have some money to blow at this point, so they're going to go with the mid-rush. And without Mo stopping that, this could have spiraled out of control.
I wouldn't write it off just yet as well. It's always worrying when MBK was given that much freedom. But Mo, again, really nice round from him coming in with the AWP. 3 kills thus far, making a big difference. The bomb is loose, roughly where they've seen, but I don't think they've seen the bomb just yet. And Happy's going to make a go of it. As you said, a little bit of money to spend around here. Try and find a little something. Happy looking for this one. There's a player real close by. He's going to just make it out here. 20 seconds. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, and here Happy is probably just going to save this op for the next round, pass it over to Kenny. They have money to buy the next round for sure, but this is definitely an investment worth saving.
See if we can keep hold of this one. No one's really that close by. A couple of players just looking up by A-Long, but he should be fine to keep hold of this one. I doubt anyone's near enough to him. And actually, to be fair, looking at Liquid, they weren't too committed to hunting that one down. They're not exactly flush for cash themselves. But looking back at this one, Mo making a big difference here.
Yeah, this is EnVyUS's mid rush that they're really known for. They'll send people fast up the mid, hopefully catch people in the A-halls. Mo in a great spot to shut that down. Good situational awareness by him.
Great stuff already. And then with a lot of pressure coming to this event on his shoulders, you know, he's a vocal man. He gets a lot of attention from it. So good to see him coming up with the goods, at least by this point. We'll see if that comes through into the rest of the game here. But he's going to be going for that confident pick here. But before we saw Nitro going for this with the Deagle, it did pay out. But already a little bit of a switch around. Mo's going to be trying to support out from drop. But this is a much slower approach from Envy. You said that, you know, these guys do have that little bit of a slower play to fall back on if they need to. But what are they looking at right now?
Yeah, this is exactly the default that I was referring to, where Keo will lurk this upper plateau area, Happy will hold drop, NBK, Kenny, and can't think of the other one, Apex. They'll work over towards the A-halls and mid area. And here you have NBK and Keo taking control of mid. Happy's going to trail. This is definitely going to be an A-hit.
All right, Adren, you've got to be the man on point thus far. He's going to have one player joining him just over on towards the A side itself. That's Nitro. Nice positioning here. He's actually managed to slip through unnoted, but already EnVyUS. They're on the site here. Nitro's going to have to deal with it, but no! Apex destroys him, and we're going to have A fully under wraps. Kenny S has gone already in towards Adren, and this is going to be a beautiful little take from EnVyUS. Relatively clean thus far as well. Even these 3 players with so few options.
Yeah, and you can't have that. You can't have the T's just be able to come out the halls and take control of the site and have the first contact be where Nitro was. So what Liquid tried to do that round, and I can respect it, is they tried to stack the site. They had 4 people there early. They tried to boost on the upper plateau and drop at the same exact time. And because EnVyUS read the situation really well, they did an A hit, and they just swarmed out the halls. And by the time Liquid made contact with them, they were in the site.
Alrighty, so EnVyUS starting to build up on this T side here. 7-4 now. Guys, we are aware there are a couple of audio issues. Once again, apologies. Hopefully that's being worked on right now. Not much we can do about it, and clearly some visual issues. We'll be trying to fix that one up as soon as possible, so once again, apologies for that. And hopefully we don't miss any of the, you know, the real important action. But right now, going back into this one, we're going to see them going back in with everything they have into this. And already looking to see if EnVyUS speed things up here, find that pick again. Last time they did this, Mo was pretty much on point here. He's going to be the man to take it again, and Kenny S just slaps him back already. Supreme into this as what the hell is going on with this black screen, guys? What is this? All right, but at least, you know, Nitro's pushing up a little more. They are starting to take some control on the platform.
Yeah, and this is just a play that had to be made, because when Mo goes down at the A bomb site, you're going to need to get some info and maybe even trade a kill over at B. Unfortunately for them, EnVyUS is playing this super smart. They're not giving themselves up. They're going to retake it back probably in a little bit when Nitro has to fall back.
I'm about to lose my mind. You know, it's just a guessing game, but still, Apex could be caught out on long here if they do make this peak anytime soon. They're going to go for the double peak on this. Fugly leading the way, not going to catch out Apex, and the flash actually blinds him, but he does make it away alive, readjusts and backs away, and EnVyUS just being so cautious on this one, not giving up any advantage that they've already managed to kind of sculpt away. But Nitro's going to get the drop on towards MBK Falls. He can't make any more of it. He gets Keo down low, but it's going to allow a little bit of an opportunity for Liquid here. They know Hiko's been playing around this spot, and he does manage to find one regardless. Keo goes down, can't adjust well enough towards drop, but a good little trade out comes in, and a great spray from Apex to pick up the last 2.
That last kill right there by Apex was incredible. Just the spray control to be able to carry that spray onto that corner as you're peeking out. What an individual play.
Absolutely huge play from him. That guy. It's a scary team when they start performing. Like, let's be very honest about EnVyUS. Every single player has so much capability, and Apex actually having a very big game here. 14 kills, if I'm not mistaken, already by his name. So good stuff from him. But Liquid, let's kind of take stock here as they are into the pistol round. They're not going to be able to make much of this one in theory. What are we making of their performance so far?
They've had a couple of really close rounds without losing. If they just won one of those stress buys where the T's had AKs and maybe a couple Tech 9s, they would be sitting in the driver's seat in this match right now. But unfortunately, they didn't, and those are the rounds that EnVyUS is strongest on. So you can't really say that they should have won those necessarily, because they did get pretty dominated on both of them. But they've been playing well. They've won a lot of gun rounds. The gun rounds have come very close every round. So they're doing a lot of things right, but they're also making some small mistakes when it matters most.
Sadly, those small mistakes certainly do add up, and Apex already going to find the entry here, or at least the opener, as Happy's gone and bullied his way through drop. And this is rinse and repeat now. We've seen this 3-2 split time and time again, every single time they're onto these pistols, well and truly aware of that they're up against this slow, kind of formidable play that just overarcs throughout the map. And now Happy's gone and gone. He's just go hunting right now, and he might just do a hell of a lot of damage with this as well. Going to find another, and this is just happy times for him, really. Don't laugh at me, Sean. Sean, first time you're mocking me already. All right, momentum. All right, yeah, we're going to go back to that.
Happy times. There's no momentum.
There is no momentum. It's all gone. Anyway, Kia's going to finish it up. And we did see at least one kill coming in the end. Did shut down Happy. But 4-9, this is starting to, well, it is a T-side map to a degree, right? I think we can all say, some teams find some real comfort on it. They do play very well to it. There are certain ways you can certainly stress the issues that CTs have here. But as a scoreline overall for Liquid, it's going to start looking a little bit devastating on this one very soon. Let's see what they can make of the last couple of rounds coming into this. So Mo does back have the AWP. No armor this time. So, and last time he had this, kennyS just decided to remind him who's the man with this one. But Mo's going to have a chance in this. There are a couple of players filtering through, and Apex is one of them.
Yeah, and here Liquid has 3 people stacked towards the A bomb site. They're literally just gamble stacking, which is the right call, but maybe a little bit lucky.
All right, let's see if this gamble pays off. kennyS might just be surprised here. Nitro takes the shot. kennyS falls, buys his time. NBK drops off the bomb, doesn't want to commit with that one, and now will actually back away. Doesn't commit for the peak. Plays with a little bit of reserve. And now we're going to see finally Liquid with the advantage. Excuse me, Envy now having to come back into this, though, as Keo makes his way through drop. It seems that once Liquid have an advantage, Envy are just able to break back through.
Yeah, again, this is the exact thing that I thought Happy noticed earlier in the half, is that no one's playing the window side of the drop area. So he's just sending Keo out into the connector this round. Another great call by him.
Well, Hiko, you better be able to pick up the slack. He's certainly done well on that one, already tagged up. I think that was Keo so desperately down to 14 HP, but NBK keeps hold of him and makes sure he's safe. The bomb is planted. It's a 1v2. It's NBK. Got no utility left with him, though. Flash comes in. He's going to make it to platform.
This is an extremely strong spot for this situation.
And the bomb's planted for it, too. He's happy to sit this one out at this point. Watch the push-up from one angle. Deny the other peak. Let's see what Liquid have in store. It's down to them to work this out. I don't think they've got a kit either. I don't know if there's one on the site somewhere, but they've got a smoke and a flash, and they better use it soon because time is running out, and NBK's going to make the peak. They do get the kill, but time is running out, and 6 seconds left. That is a little too late, and Nitro knows it.
And that's crushing because now they're going to have another really low buy here for this last round. Probably going to have maybe 2 rifles throughout the entire team unless people buy FAMAS. No nades. Looking at probably an 11-4 end to this half.
Yeah, which is far from... It started to look a little good for Liquid at times. When the first initial gun rounds really did start coming in, it started to look pretty decent for them. But then once we saw what EnVy are noted for, these kind of forcey, kind of bully buys that come in, it does start to really pay heavily. But this is a nice little position coming out from Mo. Got the Swag 7 out already, going to catch out Apex and leaves 3 alive. And hell, he wants more, and he's going to get more. Great stuff from Mo. Just denies. And now finally closes down. All right, Mo, there we go. Finally starting to get into this one in a
Mo's
really
back.
nice way. Exactly.
Mo's back.
The momentum's back, right? Okay, so a nice little way to close it down at least, but that was not the prettiest of games we've ever seen. Let's be really honest here for Liquid, and you're just grinning looking at Twitch chat, just like, God Mo.
God Mo, God Mo.
Oh man, it was going to happen at some point, right?
Oh, I'm so happy it happened.
We're all pleased for Mo, but alright, let's kind of like recap what we saw there and how the kind of game evolved from the start, at least on towards the first half, because let's be honest here, it started to look quite good for Liquid. They, they didn't get off to the worst starts. Once those gun rounds started to come in, they were doing okay. They picked up a good couple of rounds. But then it seemed that, as you noted, there was a couple of issues with maybe the way Liquid were holding, that Envy then pressed the issue on no one holding the window side of drop, no one playing these presences. We saw those 3-2 splits becoming prevalent. Is this just good in-game leading? Is this just them being totally on point here?
EnVyUS just has very good B bomb site hits, and there was a lot of gaps in Liquid's B bomb site right there, and this is not pretty good for Liquid.
Yeah, that's not exactly the start you want, is it? Just happy, just doming straight away towards Nitro, but okay, everyone's lined up. Hiko's just going to have to grin and bear that one. As does Fugly, and that's not going to be too helpful, but Happy's going to be waiting for the Juniors, and then BK. Mo's actually gone and found Apex, so does manage to find the entry. Now he can start pouring through, but that is going to hinder one of the avenues of approaching. Look who's in the back here. They just didn't check their corners, and Happy just comes into his own, leaving just Mo alive. He ended the last half well. Let's see what you got here, Mo. Flashed up, blinded, and put down by MBK, but yeah, not a pretty round for Liquid.
Yeah, not a pretty round at all, and they're probably going to have to force buy here if they stand any chance in this match. Like, maybe Mo's going to buy a scout. He's the only one with a frag that round, so he's the only one that could even afford a scout on Team Liquid right now. You'll likely see some Tech-9 smokes, maybe towards the B-bomb side. Oh, no smokes. This is going to be a hard round for Liquid to win.
I don't know, Anders absolutely detests teams not investing in a little bit towards, any sort of utility, whether it be a nade, a smoke, anything. You can work off the back of it, but looking at what Liquid are bringing to this one, it's not looking so pretty either already, as EnVyUS running with the SMGs, a shotgun in there as well. P90's in full effect.
Yeah, you can't really hit the A bomb site without smokes, so I don't really see it be possible for Liquid to end up A.
Okay, well, maybe A wasn't the ideal spot, but they've broken through by B. They've got some control by the doors, but the M4 was there in the hands of Happy, but Nitro's gone and got a great little shot towards Keo, and they've got control, but they don't have the bomb. Still a minute away, and Envy looking to try and challenge this one. Hiko denies Kenny S, and okay, Happy in a 1v3 here.
What a bizarre round right there by Liquid. They just spread out the entire map, and they all got kills somehow. Literally 4 different people had frags when that last guy was alive for EnVyUS right there.
I guess sometimes, that Puggy style, we said it before,
Yeah.
if they're just playing that kind of, get a pick and work off the back of it, and, they can't anti-stress, they can't really read into it. If we don't know what we're doing, they won't know what we're doing, so
Yeah.
I guess it kind of worked out.
And I love that. To me, that's a large reason why Fnatic is so strong at this game, is because they'll split up on a default, a lot like how Liquid just did in that Puggy sense, where they'll go 1-1-1-1 across the entire map. And what it does is it makes the CTs play all of the spots, and you'll get 1 versus 1s. And if you have confidence in your team as aimers, if you win any of those 1 versus 1s, there's going to be rotational shifts towards that area, and it'll open up areas for other people.
Okay, so there's certainly a possibility for this to work out if they're willing to take those 1v1s here, but bear in mind, still Envy going back in here with the pistols, a little bit of armor, head armor on toward 3, but only body with Kenny and Apex. And a couple of nades, 5-7, CZs. Nothing to write home about here, but enough that they have certainly done damage like this before. So, smoke's coming in this time. It looks like Liquid going to be playing this one pretty calmly, but not committing off the back of that smoke. Nitro. Out towards platform. They seem really hesitant here. Are they just trying to bait these guys out, trying to make them stack aside? Are they just looking for an opportunity?
Yeah, I think Liquid knows that EnVyUS does like stacking the B bomb side. They do this on a lot of ecos. They have actually defeated some of my teams with these B stacks, so this is pretty dangerous right here for Liquid.
Yeah, and I think they're finding out exactly as to why when Kenny S and MBK already going to be racking up the kills. Keo wants in on the action, and this has gone from bad to worse for Liquid. They were playing it smart, they were being tentative and cautious, but caution not paying off, but Mo's got the chance here. He's right around the back of all of them. If he does the damage right now, this could be perfect. Down to just 1 man, though. It's only Mo. Only a Tech-9, but maybe Mo can get that momentum and really do some damage. He knows exactly where MBK is. It's a 1v1. Who's got this in the bag? It's down to the last 6 seconds. He has to either go for the point of the challenge right now. He fakes it out. This is brave, and he gets it. Beautiful stuff. Brave play from start to finish. Takes the risk, takes the fight, and God Mo comes back out.
God Mo is a bag.
And MBK was just, you can see the kind of disgust on his face. It's like, really?
Mo
Really?
single-handedly won that round with that connector flank, because Liquid's real strat of going upper B on that plateau was crumbling big time right there.
So Mo certainly paying dividends so far. Nitro on the flank before, and that worked out. And once again, we're seeing the stack out towards B, but hopefully this time Mo doesn't have to go that far to save the day. But And see, Liquid going just piling out on this one, taking those straight up fights, and those P250s not doing as much damage as I can imagine they'd hope by this point, but still, Nitro's still alive, everyone's still kicking, and it looks fairly clean thus far until right about then. NBK's gone and found 2 already, making it a little bit more costly than maybe they'd imagined, but Kio's so low here, 2 HP, the bomb is loose, sure, but there we go. Adren locks him down, and Liquid starting to build up a couple of rounds here.
Yeah, good bank built right there by Liquid, winning that round with 3 guys alive. Here we have EnVyUS on their first full buy. If Liquid opts to keep that MP7, it wouldn't be a bad decision. No one on EnVyUS right now has head armor. And this is what I was referring to the last half when EnVyUS kept their SMGs. This is what you typically see from CTs, is no head armor onto the first gun round.
Okay, so see if Adren can make anything of that. He does have the SMG to hand, and of course he does have those targets to take down. And Mo picking up the AWP very early on into this, going to be looking for opportunities towards A to kick off, but no one really making any sort of aggressive presence known just yet from EnVyUS. Just taking this one calm, cool, collected. They don't want to start throwing away rounds. They want to keep this one relatively close. PK is actually flashed up, so he does have to give away some control of drop here and play it from the outside.
Yeah, and he thinks there's someone in drop because he got blind, which means he lost his sound, and the last thing he saw was a guy running up on those planks. So he's right now pretty terrified of people being in there, and now there are people in there.
Okay, Adren kind of slipped through on that one. They know the Fugly's there, but Adren could turn around and help out here, so I think they're aware that there's at least 2 players now by drop, and this is slowly forming towards B, but that bomb is yet to find its place towards the site, and NBK is watching that push out.
A very good counter smoke right there by NBK, and that's what I wanted out of Liquid last half.
Oh, a bit of a tag trade out coming in there. Actually, Mo does manage to clip Happy, but they're going to be singling these guys out. Nitro has slipped through towards the side itself, going to catch out Kio. Can't follow up towards NBK, but it's a straight up trade, leaving it in this 3v3. Apex takes control of drop, and Mo now has that bomb to hand. He's going to make a run for it, and NBK puts his authority onto this round and closes it down. But once again, Liquid getting very close, but when it comes down to landing those last couple of shots, taking that last bit of presence, they just seem to crumble.
Yeah, EnVyUS read out the hit really well. They felt people at the plateau. They felt the people drop in the drop area of the B bomb site. NBK sensed that, counter smoked that right when he felt the guys were going to go out on the plateau and commit to the B bomb site. It really made the hit one-dimensional, and EnVyUS just picked them apart.
And some of this is just feeling. The way these guys read the game is absolutely unreal, but it's going to be Apex who's going to have the first shot on this one. Spotted at least 1 player on the cross, maybe 2. Kenny fluffs a little bit of the molly there, but does make it away relatively scot-free, and Apex already did catch out Mo, and Liquid trying to speed things up here towards the A side, but Apex already backing off, going to make himself known into this round already, as this is not looking good for Liquid. 1 by 1 falling, and kill by kill. Fugly's keeping them in this round, and Fugly's already gone and got 3. He's down to a 1v2 here. 1 minute left, he's got the bomb. Trying to bait these guys out. He doesn't know exactly where both of them are. He knows at least where one is. Turns the flash. And now Kio and Kenny have to keep this one under wraps. He's got 50 seconds to work with here. He's got a little bit of time.
Yeah, he's making the right play here to back out towards the B bomb site where he knows for a fact he can get a 1 versus 1.
Fugly going to try and define this situation as best he can. 45 seconds. Now Kenny's got 2 flashes, got the AWP still. Kio, flash, rifle, both have kits, so they're not exactly too fast about this yet. But when that bomb goes down, they might start considering things, and they're still on A.
Yeah, and this would be a really big round for Fugly to pick up. This is so key in Liquid's chances at coming back into this map.
Fugly has to pull off the ace here if he wants to do this. 20 seconds. Bomb's going to go down. Let's remind ourselves, NBK did this almost not too long ago on their T side. And now retaking together. Both players coming back in on this one. Fugly already using that flash a little early here. Both players moving in from the same spot, though. He's going to try and take that early fight. He gets another. Fugly on for the ace right now. 1v1, though. Kenny is still standing, switches up. The tag comes out. Both so low here. 6 HP against 7. Fugly, you got to go wild, and he does. That is the ace.
Clutch by Fugly.
Absolutely huge. He played it to a T.
That was fantastic play right there by Fugly. He played it very timid, staying around the fountain area instead of running to a better hiding spot, but that opening headshot gave it to him. Then he forced a 1 versus 1 on Kenny. Kenny had low HP, had to switch guns. Great peeks by Fugly, good jiggle peeks, getting the information necessary. Strong round. Liquid needed that big time.
And that's one way to get your team back up, you know, feeling good about this one. And 9-12 now. Liquid, what you got here? Let's see. Because last time they've dropped a couple of these rounds against Envy when they've just had these pistols, but they've got to be aware. There's no armor there with Envy. They've only got the P250s or the 5.7s. No utility, but they want a nice clean round out of this. Adren already down to 1 HP. Could get a little dangerous here, but no rifles to be recovered, and they are taking damage, but they're staying alive and clearing these sites out comfortably at this point.
Yeah, and this is where Nitro gets his strongest times in all of Cobblestone. He's feeling it. He's going out on that plateau. He's looking for entries, and he's kind of stat padding on the eco. So I really want to see Liquid change up the pace right now. Maybe do like a B rush. I know they have it in their arsenal. Maybe Mo doesn't know the flashes and smokes necessary, but I would love to see them pull that out right now.
And now this is where we see Envy generally becoming extremely dangerous. So these are the rounds that they have turned. Now that they've got the armor with them, now they've got the CZs, the nades, the smokes. But again, Liquid have been looking good at these now. They've started to become a little more aware, starting to play with this real presence of mind. And they're taking their time on this. And as you said, you know, certain players starting to pad out those score lines, you know, feeling a little bit better, more confident. It can play a big factor here. Fugly, he's just mollying out towards that drop room, trying to clear out. But it's a real slow approach here. And actually, Envy have gone for that full stack almost towards A.
Yeah, and Liquid started to head their whole team over towards the B bomb site early, and then now they're coming back to A late. And it's funny because EnVyUS did the exact opposite. They headed everyone to A early and then rotated out to B, but now they're all 4 at A. So Liquid's going to be running into all 5 members right now if they hit the A bomb site.
They've got to start wondering about that. MBK just kind of gave himself up on long, almost like to entice them into pushing into this one. But now they've seen another player, they've got another kill, taking down Kenny S, of course, and they've heard that deagle of Keo. They've got to assume this, you know, B's almost clear by this point.
Yeah, especially when you kill NBK over in the A halls, it's not typically a place where you'll find him. So when you kill him pushing out of the A halls, it's likely an information play for the rest of his teammates to either stay there or leave.
Nice work from Mo, gonna just collect Apex, pushing out along. But this should be a relatively good round coming in for Liquid so far. Bomb down, 5 players alive. Keeping hold of a little bit of utility as well, not even having to commit that. As the last 2 players over on the Envy side will be Happy and Keo by this point. And is it time to start discussing here for EnVyUS? They're starting to be a little bullied, but there haven't been that many gun rounds yet. I guess we could look at it that way. When do you start need to worry about, you know, T-side momentum and, you know, have to maybe have a little talk on that CT side?
Yeah, I would realistically say that they should probably take a tactical timeout either this round or the next gun round that they play, if they encounter troubles. Yeah. Because CT side on any map is a very slippery slope, and you're not going to get that many gun rounds in if you keep going 1 for 1, and the Ts have a lot of money. So things could get really bad for them right now if they lose this round or even win it with 1 person living.
Wow. And they're committing a hell of a lot to this. Double Orbs coming out to play. Kenny S and Happy picking those up. What do we make of this one? Is this something they often run? Because I'm trying to think back of the double AWP presence that they've had. I don't note it as much, but it is a very hefty investment.
Yeah, if EnVyUS feels like you're going to hit the B bomb site a lot, they'll have Happy AWP it. And the main reason being is just because it's a strong spot for an AWPer to be, just like that. And if you're puggy and you don't have an execute, he'll pick you apart, just like that.
Well, we've started to see maybe the little bit of the resurgence from EnVyUS now, kind of mulling over what was working for Liquid and coming up with this idea that, of course, you've duly noted there. And let's see if he can make anything else from this. So close. Fugly's going to be shaking in his boots by this point. He can hear those AWP shots just coming through so close. They are going to be making presence noted in drop, though. 2 players at least stepping out in this one. Most going to be taking the challenge first and foremost. Great work to remove Keo from this, but they've got to know that still 2 players here, and Happy is being so big into this round. Again, Happy picking up 4 and denying any hope Liquid had.
Strong individual play right there by Happy. Just swiveling around the fountain, picking up people in upper, turning towards the drop. He literally just locked down the whole bomb site right there all by himself.
And you said this is something they will implement when they feel, okay, it's going to be another B hit. They've been, you know, abusing this a little bit. Let's deny that, and it's definitely worked out here. Now, I want to see the response of what Liquid can do now back to that.
Yeah, what Liquid should recognize now is that Happy is the support player for drop. So if he's opping, drop zone has no support, and they should be abusing it. And that's why you see Apex flooding towards the A bomb site or the B bomb site really quick right now, because he recognizes exactly what I'm saying.
So much opportunity now with Liquid. I'm hoping that they have something in mind here, that they're aware enough that there's something going on, that they've seen the pickup from Happy. Of course, these guys are well and truly aware by now, I can imagine. So slowing things down, testing the waters over by A as well. This is going to give Kenny S the chance to actually get into this run. Hiko playing very slowly at this point. Kenny just peering through. There's 58 seconds. They're really running that clock quite low here, and Mo's the man trying to open this one up, but nice little switch up there. Going to be trying to take presence, and they do take control. Mo's gone and taken down Apex. That means that it's now a 4v4. Happy's gone and rotated perfectly over, but that bomb, it's not going A.
Yeah, now both the ops are on the A bomb site, I believe, unless Happy rotated out instantly, which he didn't. So Here we have
huge.
Liquid taking the B bomb site.
Fugly managing to take down Keo means that site is essentially theirs. We've got one man just diving in. That's MBK just bullying his way forward and actually manages to pick up Nitro off the back of that. Bomb is down though, and it's only MBK. 1v3. And he does eventually fall to Fugly. He was trying to fake out the full defuse there. And Liquid, you know what? I wanted to see their counter to how they're going to deal with that double op. And I think they just showed us it.
No, that was perfect, actually. Yeah, once they sensed that second op in the A bomb site, they knew that the B bomb site was up for taking, and they took it instantly. And they held the rotate with the Molotov in the connector. Fugly made a small mistake by allowing that guy to come into the site, but he made up for it by staying alive. Because a lot of people would have overcommitted at that time because they felt bad for making the mistake, and I'm sure he did feel bad for letting that guy come in the site. He probably heard it in his ear from his teammate, a little bit of surprise calm. But he didn't overcommit and he stayed alive. And if he would have died, MDK would have been able to defuse that bomb in a 1v2 scenario.
So, now looking at the predicament Envy are in, just down to the pistols here. You know, the Deagle's coming out to play a little bit. We've got KennyS just sitting up on the nade. We've got a little bit of armor, and actually, one of the players who did have the armor was Apex, who just got taken down by Nitro already. So Envy gonna have to operate on 4, try and do some damage, you know, in any way, shape, or form, because at the moment, stacking out B, let's be honest here, Liquid have started to look pretty good at reading EnVyUS.
Yeah, Liquid's doing a very good job right now running on default. I'm super impressed with the way they're running around the map right now, using excellent mid-game. They're not overcommitting with rushes and things like that. They're doing very good.
But there's still a threat here, and this is one of them. KennyS already going to trade out on the first there, but then they slow down. This is nice. They're not just wildly committing to this. They are still out on the side, and Keo's going to have a chance to land one cleanly, but he can't get it done. And now MBK in a 1v4. Fugly's a little tagged up, but not going to happen there. And well, let's be really honest. This scoreline is a lot closer than I expected. I thought, okay, you know what, Cash was going to be the map. We're going to see maybe a scoreline like this. But this is a massive performance on Cbble.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is Liquid right now is in the more advantageous position. They're in the better spot. If I had to pick odds for this match right now, live odds, I would probably favor them 75-25.
This is beautiful stuff from Liquid, but let's see if they can close, because, you know, I remember that Na'Vi game. I remember how close they got to picking up the victories against that team, and I remember the heartbreak in their eyes, but I don't want to read into it just yet. This is a good start, but they've got to close. 13-13 now, Envy back onto the buy here. Maybe not ideal, not the perfect utility, not the perfect setup, but more than enough to work with, but no AWPs in play, let alone a double AWP.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Liquid's planning on going to the B bomb site late right now, but if they did, if that was their play and that's why Mo's on that plateau area with that op, it would be a great counter to EnVyUS' setup.
I wonder if that's going to happen. There's still a little bit of time to go through in this round. They don't have to commit just yet. Hiko's still looking for opportunities over by A, keeping people busy, making sure KennyS can't just instantly rotate, but a good flash from Kenny then, if only he knew, but holds the Liquid boys up on long. He's going to start retracting back a little bit here, give up some map control and some information, but still, Liquid playing this really nicely. The slow take so far has gone pretty darn well, but they still need to get towards this side. Mo just going to take the peek there, a little bit ahead of the flashes, but tries to catch out MBK, not going to get it done though, and now still goes back in for more. Flash comes in, blinded. 30 seconds left. This has to go pretty soon. 4 players now for EnVyUS are on this side. He's blinded up at the best time possible for Envy. They're going to get into position. They're ready and waiting. Liquid, they're pouring through towards the side. And Nitro has done what he does best, cracking open these sites. Apex fall into his hand, but look at Keo around the side, utilizing the smoke well. Has a perfect drop with MBK on Liquid, leaving just one man standing. It's a Dren through drop. 9 seconds left, and both players gun him down. KennyS locks it down.
And I'm not sure if that was EnVyUS' smoke on the fountain area or if that was Liquid's. I would imagine that was something that Happy threw, because that's typically something that he throws and maneuvers around it. If that was Liquid smoke, that was a big fail on their part.
Yeah, that could be a huge error, and it's certainly opened up the window again for EnVyUS now. They're on to the 14th round here, starting to build up a little bit of money as well, so they're not just kind of, you know, running on fumes at this conjuncture, but still. Mo's on the AWP. We've got everything back into this one. Liquid have another round to play with here before they're, you know, in dire straits, let's be honest, but they've got to make this one count.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. If Liquid win this round right now, EnVyUS' money is going to be reset. Only 2 people lived the last round. They'll be in a very bad economical situation for the 14-14 round. If Liquid loses this round, they better hope they plant the bomb. This is a huge round for both teams.
All right, Mo, no pressure, but we're watching you here, buddy, so let's see what you can get going at this point, because the bomb is over by B at the moment, but maybe that slow hit going to come in later. But generally where Mo's been, that's where they've been hitting these sites, but can Here's through towards long. Not going to find anyone there. There's 3 players just starting to make their presence noted. Great little swing out by Hiko. Going to find Apex again, who's been starting to really struggle to make early presence in the CT side. But Hiko barreling straight up here. Kenius has been watching up on long. Hiko knows that. He's got to know this by now, but where's that bomb going? Is it committing? Is it on the rotate? It is. It's coming over now, and Adren's gone and found one on long. That's Kenny down. Lovely little take here, but they need to still get to the site. They still need to commit off the back of this. And NBK on 1 HP, looking to do the little bit of ninja play, but he's the last man standing, and it looks like Liquid might have just done enough, but maybe he can do some more damage here. He's doing some good work, but not enough, and Mo closes it down, and okay. Now here lays the issue. EnVyUS's money is not going to be pretty, and this is the big round coming in.
Yeah, and this is a round that typically EnVyUS would buy in, but
at this point,
I don't know if they would do it at 14-14, and they're going to do it. They're going to buy right now. So all of their eggs are going in this basket. If they lose this round, they're just going to be in the same exact situation. Next round, they're going to do it all over again.
All right, the NA hope is starting to build, but I don't want to start, believing just yet, because this is still Envy. This is still these force-ups. This is still dangerous. It's still 14-14.
Mo, best player NA.
Why you gotta be that guy?
What?
You're just casting for the Reddit threads now. Look at you, you're starting it off. Oh god, if Liquid's only time that they pick up really big wins at events against the likes of EnVyUS is with Mo, there's gonna be a problem right now. I'm just gonna put it out there. But still, Mo, let's see what you got, buddy. Maybe you've been the missing factor here for all these years.
Mo hype.
Mo hype. We all believe. We all believe now. I'm gonna just get, I don't know, like a Mo t-shirt or something.
Mo money, Mo ops.
Wow.
That's his club. That's his club.
This guy, that's fantastic.
That's his club, not mine.
Done. All right, Mo, let's see what you got. He's flashed out, pushed out of position. This triple stack up on long. Has to readjust a little. Liquid are taking their time here, but they are going to start committing off the back now. Hiko's gone and found Apex again. This guy's been really struggling on the CT side. Hiko makes it a double. Great stuff. But now 3 players left standing. The bomb not on A. Slowly building up towards B. This is nice from Liquid. Hiko looking for more opportunities, more bodies to add to the count, but he's going to be shut down. So that means there's a rifle actually loose.
And really smart play by Liquid. Again, they send Hiko up into the A bomb site after those couple frags. He's getting a massive distraction. He's getting tons of eyes his way. Liquid just hit the A bomb site the last round, so it's fresh in EnVyUS's mind that they want to hit the A bomb site, but they're all going B.
But this is, I get worried when NBK starts getting kills. He's picked up a rifle, and now Happy's gone and found Mo. This has gone from good to bad, and now suddenly it's gone really bad. Oh my word, how the hell did Liquid just let that drop?
Wow, that was a horrible round right there for Liquid to lose. I don't know how they did that. It was a 5v3, and the 3 guys only had pistols. They planted in the A or the B bomb site. They had 4 people still alive. And they let EnVyUS get out the connector with pistols and get in the flank. NACS. NALMAO.
I started to believe. This is your fault. I started to believe, and this happens. I'm never casting with you again. Never. But how can they let this slip? All right. So that's the danger of letting 1 rifle slip into the hands of EnVyUS. But still, it's not over yet. It's 14-15. Envy on the verge of picking up map 1. Now, not the fashion we expected, but look at the confidence now. Apex straight out with the pick there, finds Mo, but Adren will reply. However, this time, no ground game. They're playing this a little slower again, Liquid. Hiko did everything possible in that last round, but just couldn't do enough in the end. And we'll be seeing this 4v4 building through. This is really slow stuff so far.
EnVyUS is heavily stacked towards the B bomb site right now, and that's exactly where Liquid's heading. It's not a good sign, so they're going to have to get some good entry frags.
This is a dangerous predicament to be in.
Oh, nope. EnVyUS is switching a little bit more towards an A setup now.
Okay, so sending Happy back over to just double check, keep things in tow. And actually Liquid are taking some map control towards drop. Fugly, perfect timing on the peak badge, but NBK is going to drop out that smoke underhand, buy a little bit of time, adjust back, and now they know exactly where this hit's coming. Surely, I don't think Liquid has time to adjust. The flash just doesn't catch out NBK. He gets the spray towards the first, trades out, but there's still a player on the site, and that's Keo doing the damage. It's all down to Nitro in a 1v2. Can he pull off the incredible 25 seconds to go? Flash comes in towards 1, actually blinds Kenny there. Need to follow, but on the right side, pushing in, peeking, just picking away at him. It's Envy, and they do close it down. Ladies and gents, that was close, and if any of you started to have hope, I'm sorry. But wow, again, Liquid so close, then just at the end, that one round.
Hand sweaty, mom spaghetti. I don't know.
This
I
dank
just-
meme, man. This guy, there's like no casting, just memes. That's it.
So that was an extremely close match. I'm really impressed with how Liquid played that match, and I actually do have way more faith now going into the next map for them. Cobblestone has lately been EnVyUS' strongest map, and with Liquid being able to put up that kind of performance, even though they lost those 2 stress buys, even though they lost that eco late, they have a lot to be happy about going into Cash. Obviously, they're not very happy that they lost that 3v5 pistol, but they have to brush that off and move forward.
So we've seen there's a little bit of a spark with Liquid, and we can only hope it builds into the next 2 maps, but I'd love to hear what the analysis have to say about the first map.
Really?
Thanks very much, Lauren. And I mean, we were starting to believe. We were becoming kind of Liquid believers towards the end of that one. And then Envy do what Envy do best. They whip out the armor and the pistol in that round. I mean, Sean said it himself, it's like, that's a round where Envy are probably going to bite, and they did. How does this keep happening? Why is this something they get away with time after time?
Well, that was a throw.
Dude, no. Biff.
Go.
It's true showmanship.
Oh, they just like to keep it interesting?
Exactly, guys. They don't want it to be predictable. They want to keep us on the edge of their seats, and they're saying, how can we make this as fun as possible for all the viewers out there? You know, we don't. You know, it's early in the morning here in the States. You know, you're sitting there with your cup of coffee. You need something to get the engine going. Winning 4 spies.
16-14.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, 16-14 first map to start versus a team that they should literally crush to bits under their booted heel. Envy, they were wearing the flip-flops today. They had a lot of trouble, you know, getting the job done.
Yeah, maybe some espadrilles as well. You know, maybe mixing it up that way.
There you go.
There you go. I've got you covered. What about you, Blue? That felt like a pretty kind of strong Liquid coming out the gates.
Yeah, well, actually, coming out of the gates is actually the exact opposite. Liquid had a whole lot of problems.
Yeah.
Starting off things on their CT side is where we saw a whole load of issues. Quite a few people even had trouble picking up frags for quite the first couple rounds. It's on the T side where we saw them completely flip the book, and then they just came out with this monster performance, specifically Mo, of course, top fragging with 20 or however many frags he ends the game with. They're going crazy there on the T side, but CT, we didn't really see that out of them.
If Envy don't win the pistol rounds, I think they lose this map with how they played. Like, because what was that? They got 3 rounds at the beginning on the CT half. Really solid start there. Well, no, Envy for rather on their T side start. They pick up the pistol. They get up to 3 rounds. They get slapped a little at the beginning, but at least they're keeping Liquid's economy in check. They're always getting really far ahead as far as the rounds are concerned. It's on the CT side. They win the pistol, and then they get ecoed. And then from there, it just turns into like Envy doubting themselves, Envy struggling, Envy not really putting in the job. Whereas then Mo and Fugly, we were talking about this. It's like Mo and Fugly, they had a weak first half. They come alive in the second half and start doing massive work for Liquid.
We talk about Fugly going back, even to the start of the season too. He sort of dropped off a little bit. Fugly, again, was actually one of the really star Liquid players that was doing really good when we had this good period for Liquid. And it seems, again, that at least in this first map from that T side, he was doing a fantastic job of bringing back that that old Fugly that we were used to seeing a couple months ago.
A lot of the individuals stepped up. I mean, we talking about Fugly, we saw the incredible 5-man like ace clutch craziness coming out from them towards the end of that one. But I mean, I think one of the main points was for Flaren, that round you said was a choke. I mean, you just said that 1 round determined the entire, that entirety, that full 30 rounds of Cobble, what came down to 1 round.
It feels like very typical NA though. I mean, you see this again and again where they can't close out games, right? They have the whole site, have the bomb down, and then they start peaking 1 by 1 and end up losing the round that eventually just lost them the game, right? Winning that round would have put Envy on no money whatsoever, and it's like a game in your hands. Like you see here, 14-14, just keep on peaking, like peak, and then you end up just going down. Like, work together in that sense and just hold the bomb, because when they're at a low buy, I don't know if they actually had a kid or not, but when they're on a low buy, chances are they don't have that much to work with, right? So it's small things where things that actually cost you games and maps. And on top of that, I think you tweeted out about the NA people just. It was actually Adren that was like screaming at his teammates that you are the in-game leader, okay? You're not supposed to do that. You are you're the pillar of the team, right? You are the one that's supposed to keep people calm. You're the one that is making sure the comms are correct. You are doing all of that. You can't be the one that's the most upset and most vocal in the team, because what happens is that if you are like that and you're the one that talks the most within the team, then everyone else will be exactly the same, right? It's like if you
lead by example is what you're suggesting.
Yeah, but you have to be calmer. I mean, you're an experienced in-game leader. This should not happen at this point in time, right? I'm not saying. I mean, they played great overall. Liquid, 16-14 versus Envy, very sloppy Envy, I'd say. I mean, you saw there on their CT side, Apex just peeking mid by himself. Kenny has just seemed lost at times when they didn't have an op. Very aggressive approach, like missing nades, puts himself in very bad situations, which obviously Liquid, again, they're not a bad team. They will capitalize on that, right? So a bit shaky, a little bit disappointed at how EnVy played. You know, a win is a win, sure, fair enough, but they could have done a lot better.
Well, the thing is that I'm sitting here and I'm actually able to hear the comms. And it's been quite a while, obviously, since in the streams we don't get to have those comms anymore, so you lose that little bit of information. It's actually really interesting. It was kind of to get a good feel of like where the team was at, because listening to how they interact with each other gives you just so much information. Not about the, not only the strats,
Like
tactically
mindset.
wise, right? Because that's obviously a big concern for the players is, well, we don't want people listening because that gives away a lot of our strategy. But just listening to a team like EnVy. Yeah, it was sloppy, and yeah, there was some frustration. It's a different kind of frustration from NA, because NA, they just start shouting at each other. And, on the French side, it was much more of like, it's not whining, but it was like criticism, like, well, why
Like
wasn't
mid-round
why
criticism?
wasn't somebody holding my, why wasn't somebody
mid-round,
holding my
yeah.
flank? I'm supposed to be first contact, but, like, I should not have to walk, like, they just start nitpicking each other, right?
So it's like
And
a scrim when it's not a scrim. This isn't official. You need to kind of
it
tighten
makes
up
you
that
wonder
mindset.
just like where they're at right now in their heads, because in my mind, EnVy are one of the best teams in the world, and they should be the gap should be so huge versus with them versus Liquid that it shouldn't be a contest, and there shouldn't be any like squabbling. It should just be like, okay, we're here to get a job done, and we crush these fools and move on.
So there shouldn't be a contest. Cash. That's our next map. That's the one map that you guys on the I was about to say desk, more of like a kind of a luxurious casting couch, love seat, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is.
Love seat is right.
Yeah. Either way to make a living, right,
Later,
guys?
Alex.
Later.
Later.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we have the cameras ready and everything.
Oh, Blue's getting closer to me as soon as I call it a love couch. I see how it is. Hey, man. What's up? Talk to me about Cash, dude.
So Cash for Liquid overall, again, things could look good for them because in a lot of the North American matchups, they've been doing a great job. They've had some really good games versus teams like Complexity and whatnot, who is another really good North American team, and they've been able to perform well in there in the past. But again, against a lot of their European opponents, we just haven't seen that from them, and they've been shut down time and time again on this map. They have some great foundations to work on, but just because of the lack of experience that comes in, again, they don't really get to play against European teams that often. Because of that lack of experience, we just don't see them coming out that strong against teams like Navi and VP and whatnot.
So before I kind of probe you guys for a prediction for our second map, whether or not we are going to see a third, it would be Mirage if we do. So before we do predictions, we had an opportunity to speak to Liquid a little bit before they came into this one. Let's have a little look at what they had to say coming into the game.
The high point of the season was probably getting the #1 seed for the North American side. Throughout the season, we've grown a lot. This is Spencer Hiko's first season with us. We've gradually worked him into the roster more and more as the season's gone on. Our group's pretty tough. We have EnVyUS and Fnatic, probably the best 2 European teams here. And then we have Conquest, a very strong NA team. They actually beat us last time we played at LAN, so we'll have to be firing on all cylinders. Main goal at the finals is to get out of groups. The match is map by map, so we didn't prepare for every single team here. We're just gonna have to go in before the matches, just kind of have a general game plan on how the team likes to take their maps and how we should react. I think it's pretty interesting to see how Luminosity is gonna do. The last event they were at, they placed second, and they had a really good run against the European teams. The rest of us, I guess CLG, us, and Conquest, we definitely have a lot to prove. Yeah, I'm rooting for us to upset and get out of groups.
Good to hear that Adren is already feeling like there are some big teams to fear in the group, but also he's got a little bit of potential for a Liquid upset. And maybe not though over this one. Why have you got a big smirk on your face?
No, because at the end of that video, it does that pan shot over the lights, and all I'm thinking is, like, the lights are just like, we're so excited, we're so happy to be
Excitement
here.
lights, excitement lights.
But that's kind of how you got to be, right? Like
have to.
NA, you have to be overexcited because deep down that it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad. I feel like we need to save this "it's gonna be bad" mindset for Conquest Fnatic. That's coming up, next, and we're gonna have to kind of.
Hey man,
No, they have
Shazam, dude, like the name, he's got something up his sleeve, man.
I mean, yeah, Fnatic, something. I don't know. We'll see. Don't know how much you can have up the sleeve. It's not like one of those like kind of ridiculously long scarves that you keep pulling.
That's what I'm thinking, right? It's just like, oh, here's a triple kill. Oh,
This is not great. This is not good. Let's just start doing predictions because we need to know where you see this one. Are we going to see a third map? Blue, you said before that this is like their opportunity, right?
It's to some degree it is. I would like to see it go to a third map, but again, I still think EnVy has a lot of good things coming out of them that Liquid are not going to be prepared to deal with on a map like Cash. So I would still have to go with EnVy as my prediction coming into this map.
Did you not kind of get like a little bit of hope towards Cobble? Does that not give you an indication?
There is a chance, and I did sort of expect Cobblestone to be a little bit like as close as it was. Not that close. I was expecting something like 16-10, 16-9 in the favor of EnVyUS. The fact that it got a little bit that closer does give me some hope for them. But the big key is going to be, again, trying to keep the EnVyUS economy low enough to where they can control that T side and improving their CT side overall, because that's where we saw the big issues for Liquid. If that isn't improved, then unfortunately I think EnVyUS is just going to run them over on their T half.
Okay. I have to go with Envy being both the winner and the loser, because the only way that Envy lose this is if they lose it, themselves. They're going to lose this match. It's not Liquid that are going to win it. It's going to be Envy throwing it away. I know this sounds really deep.
I think you should do
But
like kind of like a story tape for me.
Okay, to boil it down, basically, guys.
Give me that, like,
the only way that Envy lose this is if they lose the game. So they win both pistols in Cobblestone, and then they throw like a huge number of rounds versus Fugly. I mean, granted, there's individual performance from Fugly who's making it happen, but Envy were in so many situations that they should have just like locked it, and they never did.
So you are calling this Envy?
I got to call it Envy, winners and losers.
Yeah. So we've got ourselves blue Envy, Semler Envy. Is this a blue desk? Oh well, it's not. I can tell you it's not a desk. Is this a blue couch?
Castle couch.
It's a black couch.
I mean,
Oh.
Sean was saying that Liquid actually could potentially get a map off of Envy, and the way Envy's been playing, it's possible. But in reality, just compared to two teams, Envy should win this map.
Yes.
They should win 2-0. So then I just got to keep with that. They're going to win.
Distinct lack of faith for Liquid. Let's see if they can prove us wrong, though, as it's time for us to dive into map 2 here in this best of 3 to kick off the ESL ESEA Pro League. Lauren and Sean are standing by.